What's up, guys? I guess I'll wait till a few of you guys get in here. I do want to talk about something tonight. Something, a lot of people tend to overlook. Share to a page. Come over to my other page, too. Hope everybody's having a good Friday night, though. I really do. Share to this page. I don't have to touch page. I got like so many fucking pages. It's ridiculous, yo. Do I really have to? Should I have to switch profiles? Do I really have to switch profiles? When they implement this feature, I never had to switch them. Facebook, y'all changing up things again, bro. Alright. Well, I'm going to go ahead. Before I even get to talking, let me go ahead and get this set up over here. Go ahead and get into the live. If you guys are seeing this on your feed, go ahead, pop into the live, say hi, drop a comment, whatever. But, there you go. Let's see. Set up over here. Go ahead and get into the live. You guys are seeing. Hear me in the background. Set up over here. Go ahead and get into the live. You guys are seeing. Set up over here. Hear me. Go ahead and get into the live. Set up over here. Go ahead and get into the live. You guys are seeing this in the feed. Go ahead. Pop it. Now, it's a chair there. I want to post this in group. I even want to go live on TikTok. No, alright. Alright, never mind. So, this is how we're going to do this, right? So, a lot of you guys know I've been in business for a while now, right? Well over a decade doing independent contracting, marketing consultations, door-to-door sales, and a lot of other things as well, right? But I really wanted to talk on this because a lot of people sit here and talk about, that the topic of this live right here is going to be like conspiracy talk, right? Because I put it in the caption, confusion is profitable. But yeah, you have to realize that this isn't conspiracy talk. As of right now, in this moment, this is not conspiracy talk. That's a business model we're talking about. And it's for instance, let's start with the government. When people are confused, since we're talking about conspiracy theories and stuff, right? When people are confused, overwhelmed, and exhausted, they don't seem to really get organized. There was a video that popped up today on my feed of, what's her name? Why do I keep forgetting these people's names? Probably because I haven't met them before. But there was a woman, she was on tonight's conversation, right? And she was talking about how she was in the military intelligence. And she had pretty much security clearance to what regular military personnel or even civilians didn't have access to when it comes to certain knowledge within the military. And she goes on to explain why people couldn't handle the truth. And it's because when people are confused or let alone overwhelmed or exhausted, they're not going to be able to organize. And the same thing happens from that perspective as well when you deal with the truth. A lot of people aren't able to handle it because they're overwhelmed by it. A lot of people get shocked by the truth. A lot of people don't know how to handle it because they weren't taught to handle the truth. They weren't taught to handle honesty or somebody being straightforward with them. They were only taught to live in this fantasy world, which is why I know I might get a little off topic, which is why I say, love is for the delusional. Because look at what people consider love. Love will make you do some crazy things. But then again, let me not get off topic, right? So in other words, for lack of a better term, you don't really audit power in situations like that. Not only that, you don't push back strategically. And yes, I'm looking back and forth between notes. I've been knocked in the head a little bit, so give me some time, all right? But yeah, you don't end up pushing back strategically, and 9 times out of 10, what do people do in any kind of situation like this? They comply. And they do that by default. They do it by default. And when you weaponize something that's complex, things like long policies or vague language or slow systems, they don't become understandable. You don't understand what happened. By the time you really process it all, it seems to be normal. Confusion keeps people manageable, if you ask me. That's just my own observation of it. Because, for instance, right, how many people log on to their Wi-Fi and want to connect to a Wi-Fi? And as they're looking through the Wi-Fi, they see something like a FBI agent or FBI van or CIA surveillance or something like that, right? And they automatically be like, yo, what's going on? Oh, let me chill out. I see them out here. They out here. The boys is out here. The feds is out here. Let me chill out. Confusion keeps people manageable. And again, let me clarify this. This is not conspiracy talk that I'm speaking on. This is a business model that I'm speaking on. Now, for instance, let's talk about the media. Media doesn't get paid for clarity. They get paid for attention. So what do they really focus on? They focus on fear. They focus on outrage. They focus on division. They focus on tribal beef, shit that goes on within the community. Stuff like that spreads like wildfire. Matter of fact, the rapper Lloyd Banks? Lloyd Banks said it best. Fuck living positive. I'd rather be, because fuck being positive because negativity spreads faster. Prime example right there. And if you really look at it, the truth never really trends. And it's fucked up because people deserve the truth. Nuance doesn't monetize anything whatsoever. So when you really look at the whole outline of it, the headlines, they're manufactured. They're engineered to be a certain way. They're engineered to trigger emotion, not understanding. And when you really look deeper into it, the goal really isn't to inform you of anything. It's really just to keep you watching, to keep you clicking, and to keep you reacting. And then you have the algorithm itself, the social media algorithms. That's the quiet one. That's the one that doesn't care if something's true or not. As long as it's clickable, as long as if people seem to like it, they care if you engage. So they'll put it out there. So the confusion behind that is it creates comments. Anger creates shares. Fear creates addiction. Your emotional reactions train the system. So when you really look at it, this is why a lot of people are skeptical. This is why a lot of people are scared of AI. Because when you start using the prompts, when you start asking AI questions or getting it to do daily tasks for you, or getting it to do research, or getting it to do graphic design, or a case study, or design a pamphlet, a spreadsheet, a puzzle, coding, it gets into what your thought process is. Once it gets into your thought process, it trains the system on what the system needs to feed you, to keep you more involved in whatever keeps you unstable and pretty much what keeps you doom scrolling as well. And don't get me wrong, that to me personally, my observation from it, that's not evil, that's just math. Because again, this is a business model we're talking about. This isn't something that your attention is not going to be the product. Your attention is going to be the product. So when you put it all together, the government benefits from distraction, the media benefits from outrage, and the algorithms amplify whatever keeps your eyes locked in on what's going on in the world, or what it is that they put out there for you to digest and ingest and stuff like that. There's no secret meetings behind it. Because I've never been invited to a secret meeting. I would love to be invited to one if you ask me, to be honest with you. And when you think about the natural things about it, the incentives behind it all align naturally because, again, it's a business model. Anything that brings revenue, anything that creates a higher ROI than what you invested in, that's what you have. But again, the truth behind it all is you can't control the system, but you can control your input. And your input would have to maintain or rely on your discipline. Whatever it is that you digest in, whether it be from the news, whether it be from your personal social circle, your friends, your family, your associates, your co-workers, your partners, and things like that, that's going to matter because that's all going to take discipline. And you're going to have to be able to think clearly because when you think about it, clarity in itself is a rebellion. Let me repeat that. Clarity in itself is a rebellion. Let me repeat that again. Clarity in itself is a rebellion. Focus is a resistance. Focus is a resistance. And obviously, education is leverage. Now, I only say this because when it comes to the Black communities, especially the Black communities, confusion has always been used to fracture unity and to stall economic growth and economic power. And the answer doesn't seem to be college. The answer doesn't seem to be constant outrage. It's literally strategy. It's literacy. It's ownership of attention. And when I speak on literacy and strategy, I don't know if you guys ever heard the word, but you can autodidactism. In other words, that is self-education. You can educate yourself on topics that you find interesting to you. And then if you find it interesting, hey, who knows? Somebody else may find it interesting. You can go out here and start a podcast of your own. You can start a course. You can start a whole niche if you wanted to, be honest with you. But like I was saying again in the beginning of this live, confusion is profitable. It really is. But clarity behind the confusion, that is where the power lies at. That's where the power lies at. And power starts when you stop letting systems think for you. And no, that's not a shot at AI. That's a shot at the people who think they control the puppet strings and they get you dancing on those strings and just get you to do whatever. This is why you have to keep an open mind. If you don't keep an open mind, you'll be stuck in a rat race. And if you're stuck in a rat race, why are you busy trying to convince somebody to get out of the rat race when you're stuck in it yourself? But that's the work, though. That's the lane. And that's what I'm about. And to be honest with y'all. And if you those who don't know that, now y'all do. But yeah, that was kind of crazy though. I mean, after seeing what was going on social media today, I kind of was like, wow, this is crazy. And for those who are religious, I know a lot of religious people would say, oh, well, confusion is of the devil. Well, this is the devil's playground. So you got to play their game or just wait on God to come get you. Hate to sound so harsh, but that's how it is. But with that being said, go on ahead, check out that featured link right here. Or matter of fact, it's probably going to be down here in the recorded video. If you're watching live right now, go ahead and click that featured link. Now, if you're watching a recorded video, go ahead and check on down. The featured link will be right here somewhere. That's going to take you straight to my... Which one is this? I have so many of them. Oh my God. This one will take you straight to my Ultimate Online Marketing and Sales Guide Pro. It's a whole bundle. Comes with a spreadsheet of rebuttal scripts, DM scripts, sales scripts. The DM scripts are really meant for non-followers. They're meant for those who are considered your warm market, or those who you have to nurture, and those you have pretty much cold outreach, pretty much. So the DM. Let me explain the DM, how the DMs go real quick, since we're talking about business laws and things like this. Now, when you're in the DMs, I kind of sectioned it off into three niches when it comes to DMs. You have your non-followers; those are the people that come on your page but they don't follow you yet. Then you have those who do follow you but they haven't pulled the trigger. In other words, they haven't purchased a product from you, or they haven't scheduled a call from you, or they haven't purchased a service from you whatsoever. They're still in skeptical land, pretty much. And then you have the what was the other one? Cold outreach. That's pretty much where you're pretty much just going out. You're going out let's say if you went door to door, you don't know these people. You're going up knocking on their door, pretty much. That's pretty much what cold outreach is. Cold calling, pretty much. You ever done phone sales? You had to call somebody up on the phone. You had to talk to them on the phone. You don't know that person, but you had to build a relationship with them within less than 5 seconds. That's pretty much what cold outreach is. So I have 3 DM scripts that come along with the bundle that pretty much you guys can learn, you can go off of. Not only that, you guys will have 100% rights to these PDFs. PDFs obviously are there to help you gain more exposure for your business, teach you how to gain more exposure for your business. It is also there to help you and teach you on how to gain more sales for your business, and how to help and teach you become a better overall salesperson. I got to thank the people of Better World Marketing for that, because I didn't know shit about sales. Only thing I knew was marketing. And when I learned sales, it just made me better. Just being honest with you. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this your man Shelby. It's going to be the end of this live. It's going on 9 o'clock. Go ahead and put y'all kids to bed before y'all head out to the club tonight. Why y'all even heading out to the clubs anyway? Why y'all always going to the clubs? Y'all got more time to go out to the club than to work on that dream that you've had for 20 years now. What are y'all really doing? That's what I want to know. Hopefully I ain't pissed nobody off. Who said that? Somebody said that. It wasn't me. Deuces, y'all. It's your man Shelby. I'm out. Y'all be easy.